Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. This is episode 98, and oh man, this week has not been good. For anyone who's been following what's going on, you will know exactly what I'm talking about here. Yeah, it's been rough, but sometimes, you know, these things happen. Okay, sometimes when you're making content like this, it's how it goes. It's unfortunate. It's just how it is. It's unlucky. It's unfortunate that it would happen to me. But sometimes when you build large industrial bamboo farms, people like Ilmango come along 2 hours later and release really smart tiny bamboo farms that are far more efficient, that make use of zero-tick pulses. I mean, you know, how could I have possibly known that was going to happen? How could I have known? I didn't know that was going to happen, okay? And I build this gigantic, enormous bamboo farm that's huge, it's laggy, it took me hours and hours to build. And these tiny ones that fit within like a 10 by 4 area will produce more bamboo. It's ridiculous. Oh, you know, and of course, my entire YouTube channel being copyright claimed by Warner Chappell wasn't exactly fun either, but come on, this is the serious problem here. With all of this being said, I mean, this is incredibly satisfying. So that there is one positive to us building this ridiculous farm, which is that it is arguably one of the most satisfying farms in Minecraft to watch. I mean, this, I could definitely watch this all day long. But I think now I'm actually going to have to stand here all day long and wait for these to unload their items. So that's one of the slight negatives of this design. I also really should have installed super fast item unloaders, but considering we're never going to use this farm again, I don't think I'll bother. So this area out the back here, behind the gigantic bamboo farm, is where our even faster bamboo farm is going to be going. So this tiny one is going to produce 40,000 bamboo per hour, which somebody worked out down in the comment section is 11 bamboo per second. Which is totally ridiculous. That's 6 seconds for one stack of bamboo, and it's going to fit easily within this place. This area has become such a mess that it's actually becoming funny now. I mean, I've got 36 diamonds just sat in a chest here. I've just been reading through the description of Ilmango's video, and he says that the pistons need to be facing north and south, which is exactly the opposite direction to the ones that mine are facing in. How big is this area? We might have to drop this down a little bit and kind of have it sunken into the floor, or alternatively build it up and no, sunken into the floor. Right, so this is kind of like the foundations of my little bamboo farm right here. So you've got the pistons going back and forth. These are going to be zero ticking these dirt blocks back and forth, which is going to force the bamboo to grow. I know, it's very strange. And then also, all of these powered rails down at the bottom here are actually the redstone circuitry, because Ilmango is far too cool to use redstone dust. And just to make it clear, there is actually reason for him not using redstone dust. Redstone dust is very laggy due to the way that it checks for things powering and everything. It causes some server issues, whereas powered rails, they don't do any of that. It's much more lag friendly. So we need an observer, then we need a note block, and then we need another observer, a dropper here, and then the powered rails across the top, which are here. And that should be everything. I think this might be the actual redstone side of things fully completed. Then of course after that I needed to add in all of the bamboo, all of the water streams, everything like that, but now everything should be fully hooked up, and currently this is our item output stream. I'm very curious to see if this is going to work. For some reason I still don't quite believe that this functions. Let's have a look. That observer's facing the wrong way. Oh my word, I was so scared then. Okay, let's try all of that again. So we run over here, flick this lever. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. So it does work. It causes some serious frame rates. But, whoa, okay, oh. Oh yeah, this is definitely working. I mean, that's not bad, is it? That's not bad. Right, I'm going to turn off this system because already we have like 3 stacks of bamboo, and if we leave that running for too long, then we're going to cause some issues. Now, I hear what you're saying. Mumbo, why do you need this much bamboo? Oh, by the way, I'm back on my base. I need to drop off some items. But anyway, why do you need this much bamboo? Well, it's pretty simple. Bamboo is useful for smelting of items. You see this building right here? Underneath this building, we have got this gigantic farm. This produces kelp at the start of Hermitcraft Season 6. This was one of the first farms that I built because kelp is also useful for smelting items. It goes up like this, and then it makes its way into a furnace system. It then smelts all of that kelp into dried kelp, and then we can turn that dried kelp into the dried kelp blocks, which we can then put into the furnaces, and that is what has been the fuel for my super smelter that's in here since the start of the season. And it does a really good job, but it is quite a long-winded process, whereas bamboo you don't need to do any of that. It just goes straight into the furnace and can be used to smelt items. The only thing is that it smelts them, yeah, I mean, it uses 4 bamboo for every single item that it smelts, which means that you need a lot of bamboo. You need tons upon tons of bamboo. Especially when your smelting system is as big as this one. Because, yeah, I mean, this is a big old super smelter right here. This is my shulker box based one. And it needs some modification to work with the new bamboo system, and it needs a lot of modification essentially. So we need to build, yeah, some pretty big areas here. And I've actually been thinking, about maybe expanding out and maybe making an even more ridiculous super smelter. Just because I use a lot of stone slabs, okay? I use so many stone slabs, and we need a fast system to get them. And this looks like the perfect place to have a ridiculous super smelter. Like a giant one that wraps around this entire thing. I've been playing with the idea quite a lot in my head. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to think about it for the rest of the day. But before we do anything, we need to do some Sahara tasks. So Iskal has actually built the outpost in the new Minecraft 1.14 village, and we need some firework rockets for it, and I have been tasked with the responsibility to craft up all of them. So I'm going to take over 4 shulker boxes worth of gunpowder, which should allow us to get loads. That's tons. So I've just come over to my sugarcane farm to do a quick harvest. Not only is it a complete mob fest in there, but also a lot of my minecarts have disappeared. I thought that bug was fixed. That is an old school Minecraft bug, and it's so frustrating because it makes you lose faith in loads of my farms have minecarts in them, and look at this, none of these have minecarts. Right, after manually picking up all of the sugarcane, I'm gradually making my way through, producing a whole ton of rockets. I still think we should be able to make about 4 shulker boxes worth, which is pretty cool. I have not been here all week because I've been away in Barcelona, and things are looking different. My house is looking very pathetic. I'm going to have to scale up to match up with Green and Iskal's builds. But anyway, here is the mini architect Sahara headquarters in the Oh no, he's there. I'd forgotten about him. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so I guess 1 diamond per 2 stacks. I mean, if we just chuck these in here, that will do the trick. And then also underneath the floor, I guess we'll have backup storage for rockets if you want to restock. So I have to let Iskal know that we have these down here. Actually, what on earth am I doing? That makes a lot more sense. Anyway, back over at the base now. I have been doing yet more. I can't stop thinking about this smelter system. I really can't stop thinking about smelter systems. It's all I can think about right now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop into a redstone world. We're going to play around with some ideas, and we're going to see what we can do with some concepts. There is a really interesting thing about hopper textures. Can you see what I'm talking about? Look, they kind of get like a red hue to them the further away you get from them. How peculiar. I wonder what's causing that. It's quite cool though. I think I've actually come up with something quite cool here. So look, check this out. So we have this, that goes there. This then picks up the items and gets sent off. And, oh, why did I just do that? Because now there's wool in all my furnaces. I have to clear out all of these. So how many items does this actually pick up? So it goes through, and off it goes. 48. Okay, now let's see if that's reliable. So it goes through. 48. It's the same every single time. So with this setup right here, we can have 48 furnaces. And we can change how many furnaces we have in our array by changing the number of items on the inside of here. So for example, if we put this many in and make sure that we have enough items, this will go in, and now it will pick up that many items. So we then have space for 108 furnaces. This is pretty interesting. This is pretty interesting. So now it's time for a little experiment. What is faster, one item smelting or this hopper minecart getting filled? This is a terrible experiment, really. Oh, that is significantly faster. So we can have even more furnaces than 108. How many could we have? I've just done another test, and it turns out that we can get 2 stacks and 20 items into this minecart hopper before this furnace finishes smelting its item. Now, you might be wondering, why does this furnace have to finish smelting its item? What does that have to do with anything? But it's because we're going to be sending out these minecart hoppers as fast as possible, okay? So we're going to be filling them up with this amount of items, and then they're going to make their way through this many furnaces. So that is 148 furnaces, dropping off all of the items into each and every single one, so all of them will be fired up. And we need to make sure that the next hopper minecart comes before those furnaces have finished smelting their items, because otherwise the furnace will just be sat there doing nothing. And we need to make sure that there's items on the inside of the furnaces that are all being smelted all at once, because otherwise the entire thing is pointless. I hope that made some sense. Now, for the one that we build on the Hermitcraft server, I do actually plan on using 148 furnaces, because I think that would be awesome. But for the one in the testing world, we're going to scale it back a tiny bit. And the first thing that I want to check is to make sure that the actual depositing system is working as expected. So all of those are lit up. No items left in the minecart hopper. All of them have got exactly one piece of cobblestone on the inside, and they are all simultaneously smelting. I'm excited about this. I'm seriously excited about this. So obviously the output of this thing is going to be faster than hoppers can handle, especially when we have the 148 furnace array going. So we're gonna have to get smart with this, and I thought I would segment it. So what we're going to have is we're going to have little auto droppers every 11 furnaces, and they're going to shoot out the items into a water stream, which will take all of the items from our furnace array and just push them across like this. And then we'll have the output of that maybe running into shulker box loaders or just into regular chests. I haven't decided just yet. Now, I know I mentioned earlier on about minecarts disappearing, and I've built an entirely minecart based system. Maybe not my wisest move, but we have now got... We've got to stack these things up. Now, I don't know how many we're actually going to need in this hopper minecart magazine right here. Do you reckon that's going to be enough? I mean, we need to keep them pretty well stacked. Okay, I would say that's good enough. So if we then put one in the chamber... That did not work quite how I expected it to. Okay, so now after shifting it across, let's see how well this thing functions. So if I put in... let's say 5 stacks of cobblestone here. That is going to unload into that minecart. We get another one coming in. And this is working. Oh, it's working pretty well. And look at all the stone coming out of this thing. And it looks amazing. Even if some hopper minecarts are going the wrong way. Why is that happening? Oh no, they were going the right way. I just got myself confused. Okay, well, we've lost a hopper minecart. But these are coming back with no items in them, aren't they? Yes. Okay, so they've been emptied. And that's it. It's just smelted all 5 stacks, by the way. That's quite something. That's pretty cool. And just think how fast this thing's going to be when it's, what, 4 times as big? Oh my word. Now, I'm definitely not done with the redstone development on this thing, because we still need to work out what we're going to do about the actual loading of the bamboo, because that's going to be complicated. But with that being said, I definitely want to start work on this on the Hermitcraft server. So let's just work out how many furnaces we can actually fit inside the gigantic industrial zone that we've built. So this is what 148 furnaces looks like lined up. Here it is. So there is our current super smelter. That is what the new super smelter is looking like. Yeah, pretty... There's a lot of furnaces. I love the fact that we have this area. I love the fact that we have this area where I can just build horrendous, ugly things in a massive industrial way. And that is it. Like, this is the point of this zone. I'm going to build a perimeter every single Hermitcraft season. It's the most fun thing. So because our bamboo farm is here, it's off in this corner, I think the inputs to our super smelter are going to go on this side. So this is where all of the minecart loading is going to be going, and all of the item inputs and everything like that is going to be going. So we're going to have the bamboo. I mean, that's new. It was cactus last time, it's now bamboo apparently. The bamboo is going to run probably underneath these farms, then pop up over here and make its way into the furnace system. And now we have to create a way to do the loading of that is sufficiently fast enough, because yeah, the items are coming out of here really, really quickly. But it turns out, not quite quickly enough. Things are about to get very mathematical, which is exactly why I have built this classroom right here. So, currently we are smelting 148 items every 10 seconds. Now that means, because bamboo is such a terrible fuel source, we are going to need 592 pieces of bamboo every 10 seconds. That's how much we're using. 592 pieces of bamboo every single 10 seconds. And that farm that we made, that I was very happy with, that produces 40,000 bamboo an hour, is only producing 111 pieces of bamboo every 10 seconds. So that means that every 10 seconds that our super smelter is running, we are losing 400 pieces of bamboo. That obviously isn't a good situation. But then I thought about it some more, and I worked out that if we fill up the furnace and also fill up the hopper running into the furnace, then that is 384 pieces of bamboo that we have stockpiled, which means that we can smelt 96 items for every single furnace, which is equal to 14,208 items. So we can smelt that many items without running into any issues or running out of bamboo, which is roughly equivalent to 8 shulker boxes worth of items, actually just over. And that's not taking into account the fact that our bamboo farm will likely be running while we are super smelting. So in reality, we can smelt 10 shulker boxes worth of items without running out of bamboo, which I would say is more than good enough. I mean, seriously. And believe it or not, despite this slightly confusing sounding situation that I'm in right here, I think it actually is going to make my life a little bit easier, because all I have to do is run the bamboo along this line right here. It will gradually drop into all of our furnaces and things like that, and they will all fill up. And we need to make sure that all of these are filled right the way up to the end right here. But obviously, the real one's going to be way, way bigger than this. So they're going to be filled right the way up to the end, and then we're going to have a comparator running out of this hopper right here, which will then run into the farm, and it will switch it off as soon as all of the furnaces and everything like that are fully filled in. The only slight thing is that for every 10 seconds that our super smelter is smelting, our bamboo farm has to run for 40 seconds. So we might actually need to make our little bamboo farm a little bit bigger. Maybe add another module. Anyway, if we chuck some of this into here. Okay, yeah, that seems correct. So this is mimicking, I mean, it's nowhere near as fast, but this is mimicking the flow of items that are coming out of our bamboo farm. And they are gradually going to feed into all of these hoppers. So let's see. Okay, that one's now full. And these ones should be the ones that are now filling up. And that will just go down the line. Makes sense. That's a simple solution. That's a really, really simple solution. So, this has been a very redstone heavy episode of Hermitcraft. We've been doing a lot of research and development in the redstone testing world. So it's been one of those kind of hybrid redstone video / Hermitcraft episodes, but it's been so much fun. These are the sorts of things that I personally really, really enjoy. I've had an absolute blast today, and I cannot wait to get this large scale furnace array actually working, because look at it, it's silly already. Imagine this working, smelting items It's going to be nuts. Anyway, I do hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like button. If you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, you guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. Once again, no outro. I mean... There you go. You get drums this time. One.